and welcome to the Real Show celebratory interviews where we are interviewing amazing people who are doing amazing things in the middle of a pandemic. And I am so excited about my guest today because he's an amazing, phenomenal comedian. He is just ridiculously funny. Like I have stories and uh I have stories of other people who've told me stuff. So, which I'm going to share during this interview. Uh we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, you guys put your hands together for the incomparable Cletus Kassady.
We always tell people to put their hands together, but the thing is, you have to tell them to repeat. Because if you just put your hands together one time, like that's all we get. You see this right here? My hands are not together, and there will be a sound of silence. You have to be like, put your hands together and repeat.
And repeat. Okay.
Yeah, the repeat is
Oh,
what's important.
you are
Watch,
starting
rinse,
already.
repeat, hands together, repeat. I was trying to figure out who you were talking about, man. I heard you at the introduction with all these amazings. I looked around. I was like, the great Negro poet Luther Vandross said, "So amazing." But I didn't know you were talking about me. Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
I am so excited because you are not only an amazing friend,
Oh,
and I'm not saying that lightly. I don't, and really,
because I'm heavy, so there's nothing that I do lightly.
shut
Let's
your mouth.
move. Let's move there. I'm also dark skinned, so there's two strikes against lightness.
Oh, I'm so not fooling with you. But again, this is why I fool with you. But like,
Absolutely.
you really are, you're, I don't even think what I'm not going to do is like get all emotional
Yeah,
because
right.
then you'll
Because you
make
have
me
a makeup.
laugh.
Because you
Well,
have a
well,
makeup.
actually, this is makeup from Zoom. They've got this new thing, so I got
Right.
like,
Let me try
you
to
know.
let me see if I can make myself like that. But go ahead.
But you are an amazing talent, and I'm so grateful to be able to witness like you in your element and doing your things. You know, I said in my intro that I had stories. So um both my sister and my cousin, for those of you who don't know, Cletus was at Real Conference 2019. And
That
um
was in Florida.
yes.
I had
uh
amazing orange juice. You were the consummate professional and host. Took me to Cracker Barrel. Made sure that I ate good. It was good times. It was good times. I really enjoyed it. We should have had another one. Curse you, Rona.
right. But my sister and my cousin, ever since that day, they talk about you at least once a month. Like something will pop up in their mind and they will text me or call me. Like, your friend is crazy. I just remembered whatever they remembered.
Nice, nice,
And you are like that type of person. You are memorable. You are like,
memorable.
but
I'm
it's
like a I'm like a fungus. I grow on you. Like you may not even notice me at first, but then 6 months later, you're like, it's still here. Not in a yeast infection way, but more of a moss on the side of a tree.
yes, thank you. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, just to make sure everybody knows what we're dealing with.
right. Okay.
I saw
You
the
know what?
emotion coming over you, so I was trying to move you to a whole nother direction. I saw it.
Thank you because you know how I feel about you. Anyway, so for those of people who are watching who don't know about you, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Man, I'm a Virgo. I love long walks on the beach, fluffy puppies. None of those things are true. I'm comedian Cletus Kassady, man, out of Virginia, small town called Portsmouth, Virginia. But if you're from here, you call it Port Smith because education is not really one of the things that we do well. Um, I don't even know how we figured out that MOUTH would equal myth. Um, I don't know, man. I'm a comedian. I travel all over the country and I comediate. Um, I am currently in the box of being a clean slash Christian comedian. I don't think that I fit in boxes. I'm just a comedian who tends to be 99.99999% of the time clean, just real with it though. You understand? So I think that funny is funny. I don't think you have to be cussed at or to or with to be funny. So that's one of the things. I don't think I've ever been in a position where like, man, I just really feel down today. I wish somebody would just come over here and cuss at me. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a different kind of thing. So I don't take away from comics that do cuss when they do what they do. I just don't. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. I just don't. So I really appreciate what I do. I'm in churches, corporate situations, all over the place, man. Just trying to make people laugh a little bit.
And you do that very well.
Oh man, thank you so much. Everybody has a niche. You got to find what it is that you do well. With Thanksgiving coming up, man, and I think we just had it. A lot of people stepped outside of what they do well. Like if we ask you to bring cups and plates, it's because we know that you can't make greens, but people still try anyway. You still out there trying. The devil shouldn't be in your deviled eggs, but a lot of people allow it to happen anyway. So I'm just trying to fit in where I can. It's crazy because it's a passion. So I think that people have to kind of realize, man, that you'll do a lot more for your passion and you'll be a lot happier overall if you're in your passion. Even if you're failing in your passion, you'll have more joy, more contentment than if you're being successful in something that you ain't got no business being in.
Right.
So I've kind of learned that the hard way, in a lot of different ways. God has kind of put me and been like, "Hey, this is what you finna do, cuz," and because my God's a crip, and that's how he does. He just like, "Look here, cuz." So I mean, we have a relationship. That's what it's about. Um, but he has taken me and put me in different positions, and it's amazing how God will open up things for you if you just try to be obedient to what he asks you to do and walk what he set down for you. It gets messed up when we start thinking we know stuff and be like, nah, no, cuz this is how it's supposed to go. We be like, all right. And that's how he is. Like God is kind of petty. Um, he is. He's just that type of person. He be like, all right, what then do you then? What then do you? I'll be here. I'll be here after you done fell and beat yourself up and done all you can. I'll be here. So I'm just having fun doing what I do, man.
And like I've said, you do it very well and you're memorable. And I love how you come across to people. And just so quick memory before we go on to the next question. Um, where was the place you did a concert in Virginia Beach area at some big place and there was like a rack of
The
us.
Sandler Center.
Yes. So I remember, first of all, I still have my ticket in my wallet.
That's what's
Just
up. That's so dope.
thought I'd put that out there. And I just remember looking around and watching people laughing till they were crying. And I was so like, I was like, I know him. Yeah, y'all don't. I do know. I
I
was
can
just so
call him after this
proud.
is over, right?
Right. I was so proud because I'm like, I've seen it. Now you all are seeing it, and y'all are falling out over here. And this is like a proud friend moment. So I just appreciate you doing what you do, finding the thing that you do well and going for it. So
That was a big moment for me too. I don't even think I've ever told the story, but that was just a big moment. Um, Even in how we got to it, but it was really one of the first times my mom saw me on that type of a platform, and so she came through, and it was kind of crazy. Like the look that you had was like, if you look and you be like, "Yo, that's my friend." My mom, we went to eat. I don't know. It was before we went to eat. Yeah, it was before when she got there. It was like my mom was looking, was like, all these people are here for you? And I was like, yeah, and I ain't even dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll show up for your funeral. But my mom, just like the kind of a pride that she had. And then when we went to go eat afterwards, you could just kind of see her just kind of like glowing, like, yo, this is my baby. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
because she was a very traditional. My mom was a very traditional black mom. So when you be like, "Yo, mom, I'm out here in these streets. I'm gonna be a comedian," she like, "Oh, so you just plan on being homeless? That's just your. So you just not gonna have a job. That's how they treat you. So you just ain't gonna work. So that's what you gonna tell me." I'm like, "No, mom, I'm good. I can really do this." Okay, so you just ain't gonna work. And even as a kid, when I would be like, I watch like when I was growing up, the boys were a big group. And at that point in time, I thought I could sing. So I was like, "Mom, I'm gonna be in the boys. I'm gonna be an artist." She'd be like, "You know how many starving artists it is out there? You better go get you a career. You better go be a doctor, a lawyer, or something. Ain't nobody trying to hear all that. You don't have no brothers. You can't be the Jackson Five. If I try really hard, or if you get out there and start working, I could but it's just that's just how it was for her to see me. um and I think she understood it too. Like to see me be able to shine in my element, doing what I wanted to do non-traditionally, knowing, hey, this is something that he thought about as a kid. Never being a comedian though, but like being in front of people and performing, and to see it happening on that scale, even though she told me not to do it. Like for the first time, me being disobedient bear some fruit. So I think she was really like having a proud, like, okay, my baby is where he needs to be moment.
And it truly was awesome. So last story, and then I'm gonna go with these questions that I done put over here in this chat. Um, so also remember the first time I saw you, um,
The
which was a
first
few.
time ever I saw your face. Go
Like I
ahead.
had heard of you and heard about you, and like I guess seen some stuff online, but um I was dating a guy down in your neck of the woods, and we drove down to some little town in North Carolina.
Mm.
And um, I think that was when you were debuting your Marvin Snacks
Oh yeah, the
series.
bacon's the best of me, and right, bacon's the best of meats, and Lord, I love bacon.
I I remember. I think I laughed first of all, I laughed the whole time I was there, and then I was like, oh my god, like he's singing, these are my kinds of songs. And then I just remember laughing the whole way back and just bringing up stuff like the whole way back. Now this person I was dating at the time, he was like, so what's happening? I was like, this is the first time I seen him, it was funny, my bad. Anyway, that didn't
Yeah, I'm
work.
out here breaking up happy homes by accident. It's crazy. I'm out here ruining people's praise and worships. Because there's people right now that'll tell me, "Yo, I can't hear Never Would Have Made It without laughing." Like it's supposed to be this deep, deep. I'm overcome for every mountain type song, and all I start thinking about is Gwaltney. So yeah, it's crazy.
That's it.
So now your listeners
uh,
are like, "I want to know what the song is. I want to." I'm not singing it. I haven't done that song. Man, it's been years. I haven't done
mhm.
those songs in years. I'm gonna break them out one day though. Just do
I'm
like a
gonna need you
greatest
to,
hits.
because I think the thing that was so amazing to me was that you had a whole, like you had backup singers and everything. Like it was not just it was not just, oh, I'm just gonna sing this little song, this little ditty.
No, we gonna get
No,
this.
I
We
got
gonna do
full
this.
production.
We done had rehearsals. There's a note involved. Somebody has to find the note. It's usually not me. Um, the singers are always on. They'd be like, "Look, we can just get you to find the right note." I'd be like, "It's my song. Singing whatever key I want to."
Mm-mm. I'm gonna have to say no to that. But anyway, moving along, let's get to these questions. So, what are we celebrating for you this year? How are you thriving in 2020?
So 2020 to me, and I think a lot of things, like when you have difficult years and things that change the trajectory of your life, I
Mhm.
think it's always important to just kind of sit back, review it, and see where you're going. Sometimes we think that our trajectory being changed is a defeat. I always think of, hey, listen, sometimes the detour is there for a multitude of reasons. There was a pothole in the way. You were going down a dead end road. There's a lot of things that sometimes, we've been changed. Our trajectory changes. So, first of all, I'm celebrating surviving 2020s. Still a little bit left, but I'm celebrating surviving it. Still having my home, my health, my kids, like all of those things. I haven't had to hit the pole for money yet, but I did buy baby oil just in case times got really rough. Um, but my biggest thing is just kind of finding some different avenues, realizing there were some other things that I could do. So expanding, I have my podcast now, so I was able to expand into my podcast. Even when I started doing that, then that I'm a father as well, um, of two semi-precious children, and so I ended up
Mm-hmm.
having to take on the teaching roles. I had to kind of put the podcast, how you have to make adjustments in it. But even in that, even when that was detoured, it still showed me what I needed to do. I was able to learn from, okay, well, that's now the first season. You have 20 episodes done. That's season one. How do we build on season one and make season two come stronger? And now there's actually an appetite for people who are like, oh man, I want more of it. So now when I come back in season two, people are like, oh my God, season one was great. I want season two. So I'm hitting them like This Is Us. Like I'll give you 2 episodes and then disappear for 7 years and then come back. Um, so one thing that it did was it solidified in me that I'm good enough, I'm talented enough that I can adjust with how the trends are going. There are so many comedians who can only do one thing. I mean, now, they talk about people being a one trick pony, but if the pony's good enough, I mean, and the trick is good enough, then you ain't really got to change it. But as you know, with entertainment, it changes. It's so fluid.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't get on, there was a time where you had to earn your chops by being a stand-up comic, standing on stage, telling jokes every day. Now it's what can you do online? What
Right.
can you do virtually? And then if you can do virtual, are you able to take that virtual and put it on stage too?
Mm-hmm.
So I've been able to try to work on all of those things, man. So 2020 has been like a reorganization year. I'm getting ready to start up my own studios, so we're
Whoop,
gonna
whoop.
have the videos and skits and probably possibly some movies and short series, things of that nature. So that's all it's been, man. It's been a year, and I love using the bow and arrow reference when people talk about feeling like they're going backwards. But if you ever look at a bow and arrow, the arrow can't go until you pull it back. And so a lot of times, the further you get pulled back, the further that arrow is going to go. So a lot of times when you're feeling that tension of like, God, why can't I move forward? It seems like I'm being pulled back every time I try to make a step. It's not that he's trying to hinder your progress. It's just he's trying to propel you even further than you thought you could go.
Uh, uh, hold on, I'm trying to find my phone for so I can cash app you this offering because that was good. Uh, huh. Whew, okay. I didn't know I needed that Jesus right then. Thank you for that. I mean that's really kind of what I've been saying about this year. It's taken away all of the stuff, and we've had to get back and all of the other stuff, all of the extra fluff is all away, and we have to get back to the basics and the basis in Him in order to walk fully into what He's called us to, whatever that thing is. Whether it's comedy or radio or whatever, like whatever He's called us to, like there was so much life happening that we weren't really able to focus. And so
Absolutely.
now,
I've seen
ladies are
so much stuff birth out of 2020. Like there so and it's crazy because it's the analogy of life. Um 2020 has unfortunately brought a lot of death. A
Mhm.
lot. But in that, if you look at just life with every death, there's birth. There's been so much birth in 2020, 1920, in 2020. So if we can look at it like that, man, I've seen so many nail salons and hair shops and people finally saying, I'm gonna do this. Like people looked at like I didn't know $1,200 was life changing money, but like people got those stimulus checks of $1,200 and people got the unemployment checks. And they were like, yo, and a lot of people was like, yo, I'm not blowing it on Gucci and red bottoms. Like, I'm really gonna go ahead and that dream that I always had, I'm putting that together, that whatever I always had. So we looked at it as a negative. But
Mhm.
in reality, man, sometimes God's gotta shake you up. It's just your Job moment. You gotta shake you up, man. Take everything, strip everything from you, and then you'll be like, "Oh, okay." And we've seen that. I mean, how many times do we see that example in the Bible? Joseph. I saw the what's the Prince of Egypt movie. That was a great example. He was all living up in the thing, and he went knocking people off. That's a Bible character. Um, the reality of it was even before Jesus raised into his greatness, everything was taken from him. He was put up on a cross. They tried to take his shame. He bled out. Like everything was taken from him. And then he rose into his greatness. So sometimes, and it doesn't always feel good. A lot of times it feels horrible. If you can imagine God letting his only begotten son, the same one that he sent the dove soap to
Mhm.
when he got baptized. That's why I only use Dove. I don't know what soap y'all use, but if it's good enough for Jesus, good enough for me. Because you know that river won't clean. You know that river when he baptized that man in that river, that won't clean. And people think he sent a literal bird down. No, God sent some soap. He's like, this is my son who I'm well pleased, clean he him. Um, so that's in the Rick James version of the Bible.
Oh, okay. My bad.
But
No, I haven't.
if he allowed his son to go through all that shame, all that pain, that hurt, and even like a physical death to actually fulfill who he had to be, what makes you think that we can't handle being shamed sometimes? What makes you think that we can't handle actually being hurt or even feeling like what we have has died and not be able to be resurrected into a greatness? And I just think that's what we have to look at.
That's good. So I'm gonna say something right here. Cause I I be forgetting sometimes, like you really know Jesus, just cause you're funny and you throw. But then I'm like, wait, oh, hey, God. And so I forget, but you quickly remind me. Thank you. And I'm glad you know him because I don't. I just don't know what it would look like on the other side. All
Ooh,
right.
good gosh.
Our next question is: did you see yourself doing any of these things at the beginning of the year?
Quick answer, no.
Hmm.
Absolutely not. None of the things that I have done. And which is refreshing because I think I had just got into the routine of I'm getting booked. I'm gonna go do shows, book shows. And then God was like, I'm gonna close the world down. And he's like, hold on, cuz what I need to do. I don't understand. But so no, I had absolutely no idea. I never thought I would be doing Zoom comedy shows. Like, first of all, I didn't know what Zoom was. Second, it just wasn't something. But and I know I keep turning spiritual, like people are really gonna start trying to give you offerings and stuff. But a lot of the stuff that we have gone through, like God had prepared us for, and you didn't even know.
Hmm.
So for me to do the Zoom shows, I've been fired by multiple radio stations. So I was prepared to do Zoom shows. People were like, ain't it hard to do shows with nobody watching? I was like, I do radio.
Right.
So when you do radio, it's you and your imagination. You are literally doing whatever you're doing to entertain yourself and your imagination and just pretending that there's somebody out there listening. And so that's what I was doing with the Zoom comedy. And people are like, man, it's so natural to you. God had prepared me to be in that position. So it's just crazy, man. Like I I don't feel the woe is me, the nobody knows of 2020. Like I really feel like even though it wasn't where I thought I would be, I'm happy to be where I am.
And I think that's the greatest thing about this year with all of the things that could bring us down. God is really showing up and showing us more of who we are and who we are in him and giving us these new opportunities and new venues and all of these new things to be able again to walk fully into what he's called us to do. Like I don't think any of us, I mean, of course we didn't plan on a pandemic, but I don't think any of us saw these things. Like we had a view of, okay, I know God has called me to do this and it's going to be big and amazing and it's probably going to go this way. Like I'm going to do this and I'm going to here and I'm going to be on this stage and I'm going to be on, in this country. And then the world shuts down. It's like, but I was I was supposed to be doing. I was supposed to be on the stage in Botswana doing this. Well, I don't
Yeah.
understand.
And God was still like, come holler at me. I'm right here. I knew what I was doing. All I know is that a lot of pastors owe y'all refunds from New Year's Eve. Those watch night prophecies, a lot of pastors, y'all owe a lot of money. Ain't no not near one of y'all. Ain't not near one of y'all see this happening. Come on now. I,
Okay.
I want my dollar back.
Okay. Next question, because that's a whole segment in itself. So, in all that you've done, and all of the things that you've accomplished this year, what was your greatest hurdle, and how did you overcome it?
Uh my greatest hurdle this year was fighting the depression. I lost my mom in 2019. Um, and so the carryover of that, and then the isolation. So one of the things that COVID did was it isolated you. It put you in a position where a lot of times you had to spend a lot of time at home alone, or whatever the situation was. You weren't able to. I think when we go through stuff, we are able to mask it by being around other people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like whatever you're going through, if you can get in a room with people that are laughing, ergo, vis-a-vis, you're kind of laughing too. If people were to just look, they'd be like, oh, look at everybody laughing. And we're able to wear the emotions, the feelings, or whatever of the other people.
Hmm.
So the isolation just kind of kept me, you got to deal with what you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So still very, very difficult for me. But um that was the biggest hurdle, to be able to just be like, get up, keep going, get up, create, get up. It's another day. You got a whole nother one. Like, so the get up is the hard part. You know what I'm saying? So like even with you, like today it was just like one of those days where I won't feeling it at all. You know what I'm saying? Just like not at all. I was like, no, not feeling this at all. And then I see you like, yo, you're my first choice for an interview today. Can you come do this interview? And so again, I had to get up. You know what I'm saying? And so I think one of the things that is representative of us, especially with us doing this Zoom stuff, is even if it's not, we're all taking first steps a lot of times.
Right. Hmm.
It made me get up. It made me put on a shirt. I don't have on pants, but I have on, like, so it's like, yo, at least get up and start. You know what I'm saying? Like, get up and start. And so that was been the biggest hurdle for me this year, was to just continue to keep getting up. And I did. And every time that I got up, I was rewarded for getting up.
And that's an amazing testimony, because there are a lot of people who haven't gotten up yet.
Nah,
Who
and I don't judge them, because I
Right.
know how difficult the get up is. You know what I'm saying? So the world needs a Viagra. Help us all get up.
Um.
Took it wrong. Took that
Yeah.
left turn, didn't
Yeah.
it? Yep.
I
Yep.
didn't know we were going there.
What I
Um.
do. What I do. Gotta expect it. It's coming.
Yep. Okay. Next question. What have you learned about yourself throughout this whole process?
Through this process, I've learned that I'm good enough. I'm good enough. Um, Sometimes, and I think this is human nature, we all look back at others, and we gauge our success by the successes of others.
Hmm.
And so I'll sit and I'll be like, why I ain't got but 12 followers and such and so got 3 million. And I'd be like, he ain't even funny though. You know what I'm saying? But I've been able to be put on stages with some of the greats and still shine. And it's like, yo, dog, you good enough. You good. And it's reassuring that God is like, yo, I got you. You good. You didn't need 4 million followers to be in the exact same spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't have to do that. Like, what you're doing, just doing it for me, put you where you need to be. So sometimes you just need that reassurance that, yo, I'm good enough. I could do whatever. I can hang with anybody in this game. And so that's what this year has been for me. And so like now I'm trying to come out in 2021 kind of like just kind of cocky. I don't really have a cockiness. I don't think. I try to be humble all the time, but I'm gonna start coming through like, yeah, but I'm dope though. Like, y'all, I mean I have to tell y'all, but inside I'm being like, yeah, I'm dope.
But you know what? I think so. I think and I'm not going to say this for all churches, but I think the church has done us a disservice in what humility looks like. Humility is not taking ourselves down a notch and ticking it down. It is walking fully and being confident in what God called us to be without being braggadocious about it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because we are dope and we do amazing things. And when we're walking out what God has called us to do, it is just mind
Absolutely.
blowing.
100%.
And and I knew growing up, like, I wasn't supposed to like talk about myself. Like, that's the hardest thing for me, is to talk about me. Like, no, 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 no. I talk about somebody else. I do, all of that. But to talk about myself and to be, you know, proud, like, if I, being proud of something is like, okay, pride goes before a fall. What? Oh, okay, well then,
Like I ain't
I
even
just,
really ready to fall. I thought
I just wanted to say I was doing
yeah, I thought
something
summer
great.
came before fall. Um, but what's amazing about it is I think we should challenge people more. I think we should challenge, like we should start a challenge, like just to say something good about yourself challenge. You know how hard it is for people to be like, I am pretty, I am smart. Like the same thing that you said, people could talk about other people all the time. And you may even say it to yourself inside. But to come out and be like Lizzo, like I have to respect all that she's doing. Lizzo is just like, yo, this is me. Take all these ham hocks, all of that, and I'm still amazing. So like people who do that, and so like people who want a spiritual reference, they like people in the church like, well, pride, like you say, pride comes for the fall. Look, man, look at God though. God, like again, petty to the nth degree. He's like, I'm jealous. There shall be no God before me. Understand? Mighty are the works of my hand, huh? Come on. And then his son was a little petty too. He sat around with the people, they were like, and he was like, well, who do y'all say I am? I already know who I am. Who do y'all say? I mean, tell me. Tell me. So like, we got to find those examples. Do you know how bold Jesus had to be to walk in and start preaching something that was total opposite of what everybody was doing back in the day?
Mm.
I'm gonna walk in the room and be like, dog, nah, y'all come listen to this. Come hear this. This is what I got. I'm gonna ride in here right here on this fresh donkey. This ain't nice. Y'all hit me with these palms. Palm me. Palm me. Use the term Hosanna. That's the one I like. You know what I'm saying? Like, bask in it. Like his confidence level, like Jesus' confidence level. And he was so petty with what he did. Like, people look at some stuff like it was a super miracle, but like when he made the storm, when he stopped the storm, it had nothing to do with the storm. He just wanted to take a nap. The disciples kept bothering him. Do you know how hard it is? He's trying to take a nap. The disciples, I think we're gonna drown. Jesus. Hey, hey, somebody get Jesus. He like, I'm just trying to look, peace be still. Woo. I don't even think he was talking to the storm in real life. I really think he was talking to the disciples. You ever been a parent and you just trying to take a nap and your kids keep worrying you and you just like, look, stop, peace, be still. I think that's who we was talking to. And the storm was like, he said it in that parent voice
Right.
that even the storm got scared. The storm like, oh, I better, maybe he's talking to me. Like, that's just how it is. And so we gotta hold on to that kind of stuff, man. We can walk and be proud, man. It ain't nothing wrong with it. When you become too proud that you can't nobody tell you nothing,
Hmm. Right.
you start thinking you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. It ain't nothing like you ever gonna be nothing like. That's where your fall comes because you become ignorant.
Hmm. Yeah.
But having a pride, self pride, ain't nothing wrong with that.
But I like that challenge idea. You might want to go ahead and start it. All these challenges happening. They got
Everybody
all.
else get a challenge. You just show your mama challenge, and eat a piece of bread challenge. You might well say something nice about yourself challenge.
There you go. Hashtag. Say something.
Hashtag.
What is? That's too long, though. It needs to
It's
be.
gonna be something. We're gonna say some hashtag love yourself challenge.
There you go. Boom. Love yourself challenge.
Should have wrote that thing down.
I did. All right. And last question. What encouragement would you give someone who is experiencing 2020?
Shoot, just know that it's almost over. Like just gotta know that. Like so again, you face the storm, you in it. it all ends. I think the old people used to say, "This too shall pass," and and I'm not telling you to be passive during the storm because you can still live your life and know that the storm, but know it's finna clear up. And so know that if you were able to do whatever it is that you're doing right now, and I don't even care if it's just surviving, if it's just making
That
it to
part.
the very next day. I don't subscribe to that whole because like on social media for a time it was like if you ain't bought an LLC, bought 5 cars, did this during 2020, then you just nah. If you made it to the next day, I am extremely proud of you. And so know that the world has thrown at you everything it had.
Hmm.
This is it. This is the toughest thing that we have gone through. We have gone through a cataclysmic, uh, as the pastor say, paradigm shift. The paradigm has changed. The world has been flipped upside down, and you are still standing. Knowing that if you can stand in the midst of this fight, in the midst of this struggle, and survive all of that, man, ain't nothing nobody can do to stop you. Just
That's
saying.
that's good stuff. I was about to say the train is agreeing with you.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's I got a train praise. I don't. So listen, I don't I live here because you know how they say people are from the wrong side of the tracks. I'm still on the right side, but very
very
very close.
close.
I can touch the wrong side. It reminds me of where I could be. Oh, if I had a neck, that would be more impressive. But since it's just the upper shoulder area, it's just you can't get the full effect of the. Mm.
I'm not fooling with you. Thank you,
So
Cletus,
welcome.
for being here and sharing your story, sharing your just who you are with us on today.
That is so churchy.
Who says
On today.
like I didn't even
You
know
don't say
anything
that
about
ever in
that?
real life. That's church only. On
Like,
today, edifice. You ain't never said nothing about people like where you going? I'm going home to my edifice. You ain't never said
mhm,
edifice anywhere other than church.
you're right, but I
When the
didn't
last time you
learn.
said vestibule?
Okay, technically, you do know me, right? So
You
I
probably would say
yeah.
vestibule.
But on tonight, on today, on anything, I didn't learn that till I started going to black church.
Well, hey, they don't say it in white church.
Okay, because I was wondering because I was like, what does this
Steve Furtick's not
preposition
saying
really
that.
go with
Yeah, relentless church.
this?
No, they just it's different.
So before we go, tell us how we can find you on social media, online.
Yeah, everything is at Cletus Comedy, Cletus Comedy. That's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Plenty of Fish, Farmers Only.
Mm, What?
Um,
Wait, what is? Never mind. I'll ask you that when we're done. What
yeah,
is
that's where you find them
farmers
good strong. That's where you find them good strong country women that don't mind making cornbread every morning. You know, Farmers Only. You got to lie and say your name is Jebediah or something, but Cletus fits right in. Like I am perfect for Farmers Only. They think I got a real farm. Man, I got nothing but a tomato plant in the back. So
only?
I be lying. So let me go check on my crops. But yeah, at Cletus Comedy, man. Find my podcast is available on Apple, Spotify, all of that. It's called This Ain't Church Podcast. I got some amazing guests on there. So that's season 1 that's up now. Season 2 will be up very, very, very soon. Keep your eye out for Chuckle Chuckle Productions. That'll be the name of my studio. There's a meaning behind all of that. And yeah, yeah. And as soon as all the fat actors start losing weight again, man, I'm gonna slide in because it's gonna be a role for a fat man in somebody's movie. So Tyler Perry, holla at me, man. I don't care about you not writing your own stuff or wardrobing. I got my own stuff. I don't need no wig.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing.
I'm about
I'm
to do the
so
clumps, the musical.
thank you again for sharing. I appreciate you. I'm so excited to see what is going to come about. Uh,
Manifest. There's a manifestation.
ah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
God. Yes. All right. Well, thank you again for being with us.
Absolutely, man. I'm so glad that I was your first choice for
Yes.
interviewing
You're
today.
always my first choice.
Come on here.
Anyway, and thank you all for watching and hanging out with us today. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and keep watching because there are more series to come. We are celebrating these things. People are doing things. You want to find out? Come back here. And if you're celebrating something, hit me up so I can interview you as well. And until next time, you all have an amazing day. Bye.